Before we get to the broken window, let's back up to Wednesday afternoon. Surveillance video captured this man walking into the AMPM with a trash bag and searching around the store as though he were shopping.
Prop 47 is one reason that this is happening. Our law enforcement can only do so much. They told me their hands are tied.
The store owner, Herman Nagra, says the guy took $300 worth of stuff Wednesday. So when the same guy walked into the store Thursday afternoon, bag in hand again, Nagra jumped into action. He locked the doors and told the guy he's being detained.
When he realized he couldn't get out is when he went ballistic.
The guy grabbed a soda rack, shaking it, seeming to struggle with it for a bit.
Can you see the insanity in that?
Eventually, he gets the soda rack out of the way and goes for a hand sanitizing station instead, and wham! He smashes through the window, climbs right out, and heads off on his bike. Nagra doesn't let thieves just get away. He calls police every time.
I say my partner and I are going to go look for this guy.
But he's frustrated that he can't do more to intervene.
Now, why is it that if this person's coming a second time, that I have to wait to become more of a victim until he physically harms me before I can tase him, pepper spray him, detain him with force? Because this needed force, you can see that.
Police were able to get fingerprints off a soda can the man touched and then left behind, but Nagra says they wouldn't need to do that in the first place if California laws were tougher on crime.
I understand that, these laws that they have to protect the criminals, not the business owners and the victims. These laws that they have, they'd be fine. If the city and state were going to pay us money to fix the damages, that's fine. Invent all of your laws. Let the criminals out if they pay for their damages. But if you're not paying for their damages, then you need to toughen up the laws and you need to let business owners maintain safety in their own communities.
Nagra says he plans to warn some of the other store owners in the area just to have them be on the lookout for this guy.
Morning, at about 8:23 hours, we received a call of a male subject screaming in the 200 block of Stevens Drive. Officers responded, were unable to locate that individual, and began to clear the area. At approximately 8:47, officers responded back due to an additional call for service, advising that there was a peace disturbance between an adult male and an adult female in the apartment complex in the 200 block of Stevens Drive, which you can see here. Caller advised that the adult male subject was armed with a knife. Officers responded, requested the mobile mental health evaluation team due to the unknown situation. On officers' arrival, both individuals, the adult male and adult female, were now inside an apartment. Officers attempted contact numerous times, however, received no answer at the door. Officers observed that the adult male inside the apartment, they could see portions, was armed with a knife, and there was a peace disturbance occurring. Eventually, at 10:06, due to a breakdown in negotiations and no response, officers heard what they believed to be a situation where the woman was in danger. Officers forced entry, encountered the adult male, and an officer-involved shooting took place. The adult female suffered several stab wounds, is non-life-threatening injuries, was transported to an area hospital. 3 officers were involved in the officer-involved shooting. All of the officers were equipped with body-worn cameras. We're in the very beginning stages of this investigation. These things move slow and meticulous so that we can ascertain the truth of what happened. I do not have answers for all of your questions. I can say the adult male succumbed to his injuries at the scene and was declared deceased. Several knives were recovered. As more information becomes available, we'll absolutely release it, as we have with all of our officer-involved shootings. We understand that the community has a vested interest anytime anybody has force used against them, and that's something we're aware of. I'm opening it up for questions, but I'm not optimistic that I'll be able to answer a lot of them.
Let me start. So the officers fired out of the woman's safety, not their own, it sounds like.
So interviews have not taken place. I just know basic facts. We tend to wait to reach those conclusions until we actually get the mindset of the individuals involved. I do not want to put words. I do not want to taint the investigation. Just some basic facts is all I can provide.
How many calls did we receive initially? Do we know?
I believe 2, but there could be more. I haven't looked at the call log yet.
Any surveillance that you guys are aware of?
They're still processing, and that's absolutely part of the investigation, and I'm sure you guys are interested in that.
Adult males and age range, you know?
I don't have that.
And that's an apartment complex?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Thank you. Who got my...
Get vaccinated or take a COVID test once a week. That is the ultimatum now being given to California teachers. And tonight, the governor's announcement is already generating friction. Good evening, I'm Monty Torres.
And I'm Liz Gonzalez. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. California will now be the first state in the nation to come down with a rule like this for teachers. One, as you heard, the governor hopes will curb the spread of the Delta variant and keep students and staff safe for in-person learning.
This new rule goes into effect tomorrow, but all schools must be compliant by October 15th. Free COVID testing is already available to K through 12 schools.
We think this is the right thing to do, and we think this is a sustainable way to keeping our schools open and to address the number one anxiety that parents like myself have. I have 4 young children, and that is knowing that the schools are doing everything in their power to keep our kids safe, to keep our kids healthy.
This is a big change of tune for the governor, who said just last week that vaccine rules will be left up to local districts, some of which have started coming out with similar mandates. 2 major California teachers unions are showing support so far.
Okay, so many parents are now wondering whether their child's teacher has been vaccinated, or can schools or districts even disclose this information? Well, I reached out to a number of districts to get that answer, and what it boils down to is likely no, at least for now. There are privacy issues in place, and districts including Fresno Unified, Central Unified, and Porterville Unified all say it is too early to tell. They are still trying to review this latest mandate that came down from Sacramento today. Madera Unified told me that information is confidential medical information and cannot be released due to that. Visalia Unified replied, like other medical procedures, vaccination information is protected personal health information under federal and state law, so we will not be sharing a teacher's vaccination status. Now, Porterville Unified told me today also that we need to check with our legal team before making a response. Now, I also reached out to an attorney to get his legal perspective on whether a teacher's vaccination status is considered legally protected information. But he told me that that information is typically considered confidential, and there are even other medical conditions that could endanger others that teachers don't even have to disclose.